Okay, so in this video, I'll be giving some little explanations about what it means to harden an OS. Hardening an OS is a typical cybersecurity term that we are very familiar with, but sometimes it can be really confusing. So, I, for one, when I heard it, I was like, oh, what exactly does it mean to harden an OS? So, hardening an OS is really like building a house. I'll use a little bit of illustration here. It's like building your house and then putting a fence around it. Let's say this is my house or the beautiful house, and then this is my fence, right? So let's assume I just acquired a beautiful mansion somewhere in the States and it doesn't come with a fence. Assume it, or it comes with a fence. Let's assume it comes with a fence. So that would be like installing your security system, to alert you of intruders, or generally a protection scheme where you'll be more alert to security issues concerning your house. So right here, the target is your house, and then you have other measures around that is going to prevent per se malicious or um people that you don't know. That's I don't want to say thieves, but of course thieves, from stealing your precious items in your house. So another synonym for hardening would be um, fortifying, fortifying, strengthening, right? So for this hardening, fortifying, or strengthening, we have a body called CIS, Center for Internet Security, and over the years they've been responsible for getting some security measures in place where you can check the, will I say, the capacity or the temerity of your system. So these are called benchmarks. Have your CIS benchmarks. Also, so CIS has been able to come up with a tool that you can use in scanning your computer to get scan your computer against a tool where it now analyzes your system or your OS and tells you, oh, maybe you need to make your fences higher, you need to do this and do that. It just points you in the right direction where you are able to know what you are doing, in hardening and OS. So this tool is the CIS. For this example, we'll be using CIS-CAT-LITE, which is the free version, or there's also a paid version, but just for educational purposes, we'll be using this free version. Alright. So yeah, we'll be using CIS-CAT-LITE. CAT-LITE is the tool that is going to scan your environment and tell you what you have to do, what you don't have to do. Mostly what you have to do, basically. So for this example, we'll be using a virtual operating system from VMware, VirtualBox. Pardon me, and I will just shut this man up from VirtualBox. Alright. So typically, you could also use a cloud environment or anything like that. But for learning purposes, I'll be using a virtual OS, which is my Windows 10, which I already have installed here, as you can see. So I'll just pop that out now. Okay, so I'm going to launch my Microsoft Edge, and yeah, so CIS-CAT-LITE, right? Alright, so as you can see, this is the let me back it up to the CIS page a bit. So when you type your CIS-LITE on your website, this is my virtual interface. Wait. Alright, so you can see CIS-CAT-LITE is the free assessment tool developed by the Center for Internet Security. It helps users implement secure configurations for multiple technologies with unlimited scans available via CIS-CAT-LITE. Like I said, this is the free version of CIS. So with this free version, your organization can download and start implementing CIS benchmarks in minutes. So here you fill in some information, you can fill in some dummy information, and then you receive a mail with the download link. But luckily for me, I already have done this to prevent some of my data from going out. So, alright, so I include the link in my browser to download the CIS-CAT-LITE. Okay, so as you can see, it's downloading now. So give it some time. Okay, so our CIS-CAT-LITE is done downloading. So we just unzip this quickly. Okay, so it's done extracting. So open up Assessor. Let me just open this up. Okay, Assessor GUI. You can also see the SH files here where you could extract those commands and use for your Linux environment. But for this, we'll be using the GUI since we're using the Windows environment. So yeah, yes. All right, so that's done. So when you open this CSIS tool, you see where you have your basic and advanced. Of course, we'll be going with the basic, but you can just have a view of what is in the advanced. I think this is to connect to remote systems, your config files, maybe to a remote virtual interface, maybe on the cloud or something. Yeah. So we'll go with basic. Oh, thank you. So we'll go with basic and you can see the various implementation groups. Usually it should be more than this. You should have around three or so implementation groups, but here we have one because this is the free version. The implementation groups are just sections or groups per se, where you have different things to look out for. Maybe group one can be for small enterprises with maybe 0 to 50 users, things like that to watch out for. But for this, I think you can also read more on that. I can explain more on that later. But for this, we'll be using the um, we'll be making use of this Windows 11 Enterprise Benchmark, or let's use sorry Windows 10, since we're on Windows 10. And this you see level one, level two. So also these are different categories or levels or stages. You know, where maybe for level one you could get some interruptions with existing workloads that you are performing. For level two you might not get and things like that. So for this we'll stick to level one. Okay, stick to this. Yeah, so we go to next. Usually this all we could be able to check them out, but then like I said, this is the free version, so we are kind of limited with some things to do. Uh, for downloads, I can change my report destination. This is the set destination right now. Let me see. Accessor and reports. So automatically it will report here. Right. Okay, so you can just leave it this way and go to the next. Then start the assessment. Alright, so as you can see, the assessment has begun, and then we'll wait for it to finish. So hang around, I'll be back to see. So while we wait for it to be complete, the assessment is done. Just to buttress the point I meant by hardening. And now by doing this assessment with the CIS-CAT-LITE, for example, maybe in this your house, you had a window open or some windows open. Basically, I mean, if you have or high security personnel, it's going to tell you to shut down that window. So this is the exact thing the CIS-CAT-LITE is going to tell us. If you see the window open or a port, let me use more technical terms now. If you see a port that is exposed and not in use technically, so it's going to recommend that you disable or block that port. If it sees some administrative privileges or application permissions that you have to applications that don't even or require that for preset values, is going to recommend that you take away those permissions from it, and then you block some other privileges, those kind of things. So let's go back and see if okay. All right, so I think our assessment is done. Okay, so our assessment is now complete. So we'll click on the show report folder. So I had to I had to run the assessment again because I think it failed before. So right, it's done and it's successful. So now we click on show report folder, and then we open this document. Let me just open up this with Microsoft. Okay, so here we can see our CIS benchmarks. It's going to be a very detailed report. So you can see your rate of pass, fail, your percentage. You can see the policies. This is the password policy, account local policy, and cryptography, network security. This is a summary basically. When you scroll down, you'll see more detailed explanations. Oh, it's a lot, as expected. You can see a lot of failures on our side because Windows, for one, is not a system that I think prioritizes security so much, default security so much. So, there are a lot of things you have to check. This is actually a job, checking all this and making sure that it's all according to how we want it to be based on the benchmarks. So, for example, we click on the password policy. Is it? Okay. And we can see different rules here. For the enforced password history, set to 24. Then this is talking about your previous password. Your system can remember the password you've used in the past, and then it can recommend you not to use it. So for this system, it's not set. Minimum age set to 1, not also set. There's a failure. And then you can see those that pass, those that fail, basically. So you have to go through this one by one, make sure you follow the report on it. Or you can also even select this checkbox to show only the necessary and the essential controls if that you're going to implement, or you can display only the failures, one of them. Well, it depends largely on you, largely on how you want to carry it out. So you have to come to each of them and then make sure you follow the prompts. For example, let's click on this. Okay. Policy setting determines the number of renewed unique passwords that have been associated with a user account before you can reuse an old password. The value for this policy setting must be between 0 and 24 passwords. The default value for standalone systems is 0 password, but the default setting when joined to a domain, keyword when joined to a domain, is 24 passwords. To maintain the effectiveness of this policy setting, use the minimum password age setting to prevent users from repeatedly changing their password. The recommended state for this is 24. And then you can also see the remediation to establish recommended configurations that group policies, set it to 24 or more passwords. So to change this, you could also click on this link to get more information. But like it's stated here, you need to go to your Windows setting, your security settings, and then your password policy. So let's try and do some navigation here. Not this. Let's see. Okay, local security policy. And then we can click on account policies, password policy, enforce. Yeah, so the recommended change is 24. So okay this. Alright, so now it's 24. If you were to do this, come again and scan, you see that this was going to pass. So this is the whole process for everything. You have to come each of the failed tasks and then check the remediations and read about how to do it and then modify it. It's a lot, but then this is good job, right? This is somebody's job. This is the job that you've been paid or hired to do. And I think it's worth doing to secure your system from future or easy attacks. Close your windows, close your doors, put on your security lights and all. So yeah, this is my little showdown on how to use the CIS benchmarks and CIS benchmarks through the CIS-CAT-LITE tool, of course. So I will be ending the video here, but I hope to continue more in this part, continue more with the videos and keep it coming. Alright, thank you for your time and I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you.